work in offices, many people who commit their talents, their energy, their expertise to get Kenya moving. Because of them, our economy today is different from what it was a few years ago. Inflation was at 9%, 9.6 to be exact, 3 years ago. Today, inflation in Kenya is at 4.1. It had actually gone down to 2.8. Our exchange rate was at 167. Today, for the last 10 months, our exchange rate has stabilized at 128, 129 shillings to a dollar. Today, our foreign exchange reserves are stable. Yesterday, I had an occasion to look at the numbers with Roslyn, our principal secretary for diaspora. I don't know whether she's here. And speaking to diaspora and what they are doing in supporting our nation, in the last 2 years, people in diaspora have contributed resources to Kenya, going up from $4 billion. Last year, we reached $4.95 billion. In other words, our diaspora has contributed an extra close to $1 billion for the development of our nation. And so we can count as a blessing that God has healed our economy. I also want to thank God for what He has done to us, especially in our agricultural sector and food production sector. A few years ago, not too long, we had stunts in our streets because of unga. I must say, and I must thank God, that God has given us favorable weather. And we want to thank God for the rains in our nation. For the last 2.5 years, we've had favorable weather. Our agriculture is doing well. We have increase in our tea sector. We have a better paying coffee sector. We have reformed our sugar sector. It is doing well. And our tea and our milk dairy sector is equally improving. We thank God for the blessing of having food on our tables, for having our agricultural sector moving in the right direction. Let me also say this. Our children are a heritage given to us by God. And the best gift we can give to our children is to make sure that they have the best education. And it is the reason why I must thank members of parliament who have supported me in making sure that we have resources to make sure that we teach our children. Last year, we spent 650 billion Kenya shillings, almost $5 billion, to get our children. Hired more teachers, spend more money on our higher education, and our education sector is coming out of huge debts. I must say, we have reason to thank God for what God is doing in our country. Let me also say this, that doctors treat, but God heals. And For a very long time, proper medical care was a preserve of the people who can afford and the people who have the means. We have, as a nation, tried for a very long time to have a healthcare infrastructure that supports everybody, that gives every Kenyan a chance. I must thank our doctors. I must thank our nurses, the medical people in the medical space. I must thank members of parliament. I must thank governors who work with us to make sure that the rollout of a healthcare system that gives every Kenyan a fair chance, whether they have a job or they don't. Today, we have testimonies across Kenya of what universal health care, Taifa Care, is doing in our nation. I must say, I am very proud that we have moved the number of Kenyans who today are registered on our universal healthcare space from what it was, about 8 million Kenyans. Today we have 22.5 million Kenyans who are in that space. And the good news is that every day, I mean every single day, approximately 50,000 Kenyans register voluntarily on our universal healthcare portal. And the future is going to ensure that no Kenyan is left behind on such an important subject as the health of the citizens of our country. And it hasn't happened because of one person or a few people. It has taken the collective effort of all of us as a country, as a nation, to get ourselves where we are.